Uh, Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Today we will discuss the poem A Photograph written by Shirley Toulson. My dear students, in this poem, A Photograph, the poet recalls her mother and her memories while looking at a childhood photograph when her mother was 12 years old or so. She has been deceased 12 years ago and she can't explain her grief on her mother's loss. Look here carefully, my dear students. The cardboard shows me how it was when the two girl cousins went paddling, each one holding one of my mother's hands, and she, the big girl, some 12 years or so, and three stood still to smile through their hair at the uncle with the camera, a sweet face, my mother's. That was before I was born, and the sea, which appears to have changed less, watched their terribly transient feet. My dear students, first of all, write down this difficult word paddling means. Paddling means walking with barefoot in shallow water. Look carefully while going through these lines. I will tell the meaning of these lines. Um, in these lines, the poet is looking at an old photo album which is made up of cardboard. This in the picture, there are three girls who are walking on the beach, holding each other's hands. The girl in the middle is tallest and oldest. The other two girls on each side are younger than her. The girl in the middle is the poet's mother. She is around 12 years old when the picture was taken. Actually, this picture has been taken by their uncle. Okay, in the poet also describes how the photograph was taken. Look here at the uncle with the camera. Actually, this photograph was taken by their uncle. Her mother's uncle took the photograph and told them to stop and pose. All the three, यहाँ पे all three stood still to smile through their hair. And this means that all three of them smiled at the camera. The photograph was taken long before the poet was born. The poet calls their feet transient, terribly transient, as they were so young by then and now they had grown older. On the other hand, the sea which touched their feet had changed less. Okay. Here, my dear students, look at these lines. The cardboard shows me how it was when the two girl cousins this went paddling. Here, a literary device has been used that's called enjambment. What do you mean by enjambment? Enjambment means when a sentence continues to the next line without any pause. Okay, this is called an enjambment. Here, look here, my dear students. Alliteration has been used. What do you mean by alliteration? My mother's stood still, sir, through there, th. Alliteration means repetition of consonant sounds at the beginning of two or more consecutive words. So these are the instances of alliteration. My mother's, this is also an instance of alliteration. Okay, dear students, now look here. This terribly transient feat. This is a literary device that's called epithet. What do you mean by epithet? Epithet means when an adjective is used with a noun. Here an adjective transient has been used with the noun feat. This is called epithet. Okay, so there are instances of enjambment, alliteration, and epithet. Now we will move towards another stanza. Look here, my dear student. Some 20, 30 years later, she would laugh at the snapshot. See Betty and Dolly, she would say, and look how they dressed up for the beach. The sea holiday was her past, mine is her laughter. Both Rye with the labored is applause. Dear students, Rye, W-R-Y, Rye means disappointed. Here, after I will now summarize it. I will tell you its meaning, these lines, the meaning of these lines. After 20, 30 years later, she would laugh at the photograph. यहाँ पे she would laugh at the snapshot. Snapshot means photograph. Okay, she would tell me to look at her cousins, Betty and Dolly, and how their parents would dress all the three of them up for the beach. Okay, here, my dear students, look. Some 20, 30 years later, she would laugh at the snapshot. This is also an instance of enjoyment because there is no pause here, no punctuation mark here. The line continues to the This sentence continues to the next line. This is an instance of enjambment. Here also, the sea holiday was her past, mine is her latter, both right. This is also an instance of enjambment. Here is another interesting device, literary device has been used, that's called oxymoron. What do you mean by oxymoron? Labored ease of loss. This is an instance of oxymoron. Labored ease of loss. Dear students, oxymoron means that apparently contradictory terms that appear in conjunction. For example, हम कभी बोलते हैं that you have a terrific beauty, this is an oxymoron. These are apparently contradictory terms. Look here, my dear students, there is labored ease of loss. Labored means hard work, ease means easily, आराम देना वगैरह. These are apparently contradictory terms, and there the literary device is called oxymoron. Okay, now let's move towards the last stanza. Now she has been dead near as many years as that girl lived, and of this circumstance there is nothing to say at all. It is silences. Here, dear students, the poet recalls the sea holiday was her mother's this यहाँ पे the sea holiday was her past, mine is her latter, both rye with the labor is her loss. My dear student, the poet recalls the sea holiday was her past favorite moment from the past. While the poet's favorite moment from the past was her mother's slaughter, they try their best to adjust to what they have lost. Now, let's move to the last stanza. Now she has been dead nearly as many years as that girl lived, and of this circumstance there is nothing to say at all. It is silences. The poet says that her mother died 12 years old, 12 years ago, the same age her mother was in the photograph. Death has silenced her mother, which has also left her speechless. Very good. There is also an instance of enjambment, which silences. This is a case of alliteration. Alliteration means repetition of consonant sounds at the beginning of two or more this consecutive words. Here is an instance of enjambment. What do you mean by enjambment? When a line continues to the next line without any punctuation mark. Okay. Here I told you labored is of loss. Labored is this is a literary oxymoron. So this was all about the poem A Photograph. Thank you.